do the same thing using the loop structure and see. Okay, write the same program to display 5 times using the while loop. So we are going to use the while loop and do. So again, the start assignment. I will dry run this and explain to you all why we are doing all these things. Now this is the loop. This is the while loop. Okay, while loop has this part coming here until loop comes somewhere like this, the bottom, as we saw in the first page, right? So this is basically the loop. So in the loop, whatever you want to repeat is what comes in this section. That is the section covered by this part. Okay, this part covers this section. So whatever you want to repeat or whatever you want to loop, you have to put it inside this. This is the loop while structure. Okay, so here just let's see some example. Here I am using that show 25. I want to show the 25. So the moment I put it inside this, based on some condition here which we are going to write in a minute, this is going to loop that many times. So by looping or repeating, this is going to happen so many times. So that's basically what we are doing. And then there's another command which I will explain to you. I have already shown what this means. This is basically add 1 to whatever the contents of number by 1. Why we are doing this, you will understand as we dry run this. Okay, so but basically understand, this is a process, this is a process, this is the loop. Okay, in the loop we want to repeat these two, and those two are processes. One process is another process. So these two processes we have put within the frame of this line, this part. So that is the looping part. So these two are in this case 2. If I just put show 25 only without this, then it's only 1. If I put 5 things here, it will be 5. Whatever you want to repeat, you have to start from here and write within this line ending. So whatever that comes here is what is going to be repeating or looping. Okay, right? And this is the area for the condition, because what happens in the loop is after, say, these are processes now, so this will be done, then this will be done, then it will enter into the loop. Now before entering the loop, as you can see, first thing that it's encountering is the condition. Now if this condition is true only, the loop will be done. Remember that. If for some reason as you enter here, if this condition is false, it will skip the loop and come out of this to the next line here. So that is how it does. So as long as this condition is true, it will repeat, it will basically do the loop, do this and do this, right? So when it comes to the last point here, now in this case num arrow num plus 1 is the last line. So as soon as you do the last line, it never goes out. Okay, loop cannot go out like that. What happens is after doing the last line, it always goes back to the condition and checks. So only way a loop can exit or basically come to the next line is when this condition becomes false. So it will, as you enter, it checks it. If it is false, it exits. If it is not false, it will do this and then again check it. After doing this line, do not go down. Okay, after the last line in the loop, always go back to the beginning of the condition, check the condition. Is it true as per the variable value? If it is true, do this again, then again check it. Then if it is true, do this. Is it true? True. Let's assume true. Do it again. True. Do it. As long as this, every time after doing this, you go back here and check this. If this is true, again these two are done. Then again check. True. Do these two are done. So only way this loop comes out to the next line is when this condition is false. So after doing this, at some point it will come back here and check, and let's assume right now this is false, then it will come out to the line following here. It can be any line, any process, any decision, and maybe another loop or whatever that is immediately after this point. This is the end of this loop. So it will basically do this, right? Check the condition and do that. So that's what I want to show you. This is the looping part, or the part that needs to be repeated or whatever. Okay, here is where we write the condition. So as long as first you come here, check the condition, true, do this, then again check the condition, right? Now just imagine, okay, this is just an imagination. Suppose we have put a value like 10 or something that is not less than 5. Here we are checking for less than 5. Now in this case we have put 0, so it is first time it will be less, so therefore it will go inside here. But let's assume we put 10 here. Suppose we put 10 into num, and as soon as you come here, is num less than 5? No, because num has 10. If we put 10, okay, then this is false. No, so first time itself it's false, it will come out of the loop. So in that case, these whatever that we need to repeat will never happen at all. So the first time itself, if the condition is false, it comes out without doing what is in the loop area. So remember, as long as the condition is true only, it will be looping. So in other words, if I were to rephrase this and explain to you, if the condition is, whenever the condition is true, this will be done. Whenever the condition is false, it will exit. Okay, so which means if you write a while loop, there is a chance that whatever you have written inside the loop will never ever get executed, because first time itself, if this condition is false, it will come out without executing this. So remember that, right? So as long as the condition is true only, it will go inside here. Just because we have written a loop, it doesn't mean this is going to happen. This is going to happen only if this condition is true. So that is the most important thing to remember in the while loop. Okay, so the condition you write here, the things that needs to be done are written here. Here this could be a decision, it could be another loop, which I will explain to you in a minute, or processes. In this case, there are two processes here as part of this particular loop. Okay, right, and then we have the ending. So now we are going to join this and show you how the entire NS chart will look for this particular program. Okay, so we have the screen and this thing. Then see, we just take it up like that, you connect to that, and then the end is also connected to this. This is how it is. So just remember, when you see your diagram, you will see it like this, but remember this part is what defines the loop. Okay, up to this. So in this case, if this condition is false, it's going to come to end, because the next line happens to be the end after this. Okay, after this point, what we have is the end. So this is the last point of the loop, and in here I have right now two commands, but it can be just one command, two commands, three commands, 5 commands, 10 commands, 100 commands, whatever number of commands. So that many commands, you have to drag this and make it bigger, this particular part. Okay, so here it can be any number. Now in this case, I have only two commands as part of the loop, and we have the condition here. Okay, so let's dry run this and see, just to give you an idea how this will work. I have already explained to you how the loop works, so let's just go through that and see. Okay, so you start the dry run. Start not doesn't do anything, it just indicating the beginning of the flowchart. Then we go here. Now here we are saying put the value 0 into num. So we have the num variable and the screen. Remember, this num variable is in the main memory, right? User can't see this. User can only see the screen. This part I am writing here for us to dry run, but actually this num variable is inside the computer, in the memory, main memory. We will never be able to see. What we are going to see as far as when you're using the computer is the screen. So this is the screen. Okay, so you start, then you assign 0 to num will become 0. Then you go to the next line. Now this is where the condition is checked. So is this condition true, num less than 5? Yes, because num happens to have 0. So therefore it is less than 5. But if this was 10, then it won't be less than 5. Or if it is 5 even, it won't be less than 5, because 5 is equal to 5. No? If this was 5, then this will be false, and therefore you come out to the end. But in this case, num is 0, so less than 5, yes, true. Because it is true at this point only, it's entering this. Okay, to show 25. So the 25 is now shown on the screen. Then you go to the next line. Now this thing I think I have already explained. Basically what it does is it takes the current value of num, which is 0, plus 1, so the total is 1, writes back to num. So the original, and as you know, memory variables cannot keep more than one value at a time. So when you write a new value, in this case 0 plus 1 is 1, we are going to write back num as 1. So when you are going to write back 1, 0 gets cancelled, goes off, and 1 comes on. So now from at this point onwards, if you refer to the variable num, the contents of the num is 1, not 0. 0 is gone, list. Okay, I'm just keeping it here just to show you it's cut and it was there. Just to show you it was there, I'm keeping it here. Otherwise I could have blanked this. Okay, actually num has only this one. 0 is not there, it's gone. So any reference to num from this point onwards will be number 1, right? So now we have come here. So in the loop only contains 2 lines and we are in the last line. So after doing the last line, what do we do in the loop? We go back to the condition to check. See, we come back here. And now we check. Now num is less than 5, yes. Now earlier it was 0, but now it's 1. So 1 is less than 5, yes. So because it is true, again you enter the loop. And this time show 25 shows 25 again. Then you go to the next line, increment num by 1. See, num is already 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 you write back into num. So this goes off and now num is 2. So since we are in the last line, we come back again to the condition. Okay, and then you check, is it less than 5? Yes, right? This is 2 now. Num is less than 5. Yes, true. So you go here again show 25. 25 is shown, right? Then you go to the next line, increment num by 1. So num is now 2. Num plus, so 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 you write back to 2, sorry, num. So this goes off and now num is 3. Then again, since we are in the last line of the loop, you again go back to the condition, check, is it less than 5? Yes. Again go back, go to this, show 25 appears here, and then you go to the next line, increment, this is increment num by 1, right? Because currently num is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Increment it by 1. So 4 will be written back to num. So num 3 goes off, and now the contents of num is 4 only. Okay, only this is available. Now we are in the last line. Again you go back to the beginning, check it. Is it less than 5? Yes, because it's 4. So again it's true. So you go to the next line, show 25. 25 comes on. Then go to the next line, increment num by 1. See, num is 4. 4 plus 1, num is 4. 4 plus 1, 5. You write back to num. So this goes off and num becomes 5, right? And since we are in the last line, again you go back to the condition. Now again you check, num less than 5? No, it's equal. Equal means it's not less, no. So therefore this condition is false. Now since it becomes false at this point, it will never enter the loop, because at this point num is false. 5, it's not less, so it's equal. So equals means this condition saying num is less than 5 is wrong, false. So because it is false, it comes out of the loop to the next line, end, and that's the end of the dry run. See, we did the same thing like we did in our previous flowchart, just putting 25 25 show 25 5 times. This also did the same job. We are seeing 25 5 times on the screen, and for that we have used a variable called num to loop. And remember, since we are checking num less than 5, inside the loop there must be a condition or a command to change the value num, which is this one. See, every time it hits this, num1 will be incremented by 1. So from 0 it will increment until it comes to 5, as you saw. And when it 5, it comes out of the loop. Okay, so that is how a loop while works in this case, and I use that to show. Now the advantage here is, suppose I want to print 25 100 times. Now in the previous example we should have said show 25 show 25 show 25 show 25 100 times. Now in this case you don't have to do that. All you have to do is change the 5 to 100, num less than 500. So 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, it will go on till 100. If you dry run that and see, you will see. So every time show 25 will come. So show 25 will be shown 100 times. If you change this to 1000, 25 will be shown 1000 times. If you change this to 10,000, so you don't have, your flowchart is not becoming big. You control the loop by what we call the loop counter. This num variable here, we usually call it a loop counter, because this is counting. At the initial stage it was 0, then you make it 1, then 2 3 4, num is going 1 by 1. It's a counter.